We're familiar with the cinematic setup. A dying king fails to pass on a secret code, and a massive fortune is swallowed by shadows and dust. In 1886, this trope became a recorded historical crisis for the Scindia dynasty. A king died suddenly, and his empire's wealth died with him. The crisis centered on the Gwalior Fort, a massive complex in central India designed to be completely impenetrable to outside forces. This hoard, known as the Gangajalli, was staggering. A subsequent audit counted 10,000 gold coins and nearly 40,000 pearls. At the time, it was valued at 6.2 crore rupees, a figure that translates to thousands of crores in today's currency. This wasn't a decorative collection. It was the state's primary financial reserve, and its sudden disappearance left the kingdom effectively bankrupt and unable to function. Following the unrest of the 1857 rebellion, Maharaja Jayajirao Scindia became obsessed with security. He decided the only way to protect the dynasty's future was to remove its wealth from the surface entirely. To do this, he commissioned a series of subterranean vaults, carved directly into the bedrock foundations deep beneath the fort. Access to these vaults was controlled by a secret code, called the Bijak. But when Jayajirao passed away unexpectedly, he had not yet initiated his heir into the secret. The young Maharaja Madhav Rao inherited the title and responsibility of an empire, but he was locked out of the treasury required to run it. The Scindia dynasty had become the victims of their own engineering. Their vault was so secure that it had effectively neutralized the sitting king. The Bijak was more than a password. It was a 19th-century system of decentralized human cryptography. The location of the vault was split into 4 distinct parts and entrusted to 4 different servants. None of these key holders knew who the other 3 were. This human multi-signature lock meant that no single person could betray the king or find the treasure alone. In a desperate move to find the gold, Madhav Rao turned to an old astrologer. The man claimed he could find the treasure, but only if the Maharaja agreed to enter the fort's depths alone and blindfolded. The astrologer was actually one of the 4 original key holders. He was betting that his quarter of the secret was worth a king's ransom. Deep within the pitch-black tunnels, a sudden, loud noise startled the old man. He collapsed and died instantly, leaving the king alone in the dark. Madhav Rao panicked. Blindfolded and disoriented, he began striking the stone walls, desperately searching for any way to escape the subterranean maze. His hand hit a structural pillar with enough force to trigger a hidden mechanism. A stone slab ground open, revealing a hidden passage. Inside was what British officers later described as Aladdin's cave, a massive chamber overflowing with gold, silver, and thousands of precious stones. Madhav Rao had bypassed the world's most secure 19th-century cipher through the sheer randomness of a lucky accident in the dark. While sounding like folklore, the recovery of the Scindia treasure is a matter of official record. In 1889, British Colonel Bannerman filed a formal report with the National Archives. He meticulously documented the recovery of the hoard, verifying that the legendary treasure actually existed. The audit confirmed the presence of over 37,000 pearls and 10,000 gold coins. Bannerman noted that the sheer volume of wealth in the basement was unlike anything he had seen in his career. Frustrated by the near loss of his inheritance, Madhav Rao ended the tradition of hidden vaults. He converted the entire hoard into liquid cash. In 1924, when the emerging company Tata Steel was facing a financial collapse, Madhav Rao's financial advisors used this capital to intervene. The massive cash influx saved the firm from bankruptcy. This move transformed the family's wealth from static gold into industrial shares. By 1960, the Scindias were among the largest shareholders in the company, ensuring that the legacy of the Gwalior treasure survived not as buried jewels, but as a major stake in India's industrial sector.